Hello everyone and welcome back to another book review. Today I am going to be reviewing volume 3 in the Remarried Empress series. This is what the cover looks like. I actually discovered this series on a whim and I cannot believe I have not been reading this series already. I am loving this series. I read volumes 1 and 2, just devoured them, and now I am going to be reading and reviewing volume 3. So as a brief recap of volumes 1 and 2, although I do have reviews for both of those volumes on my channel, we are in the middle of a relationship between an emperor and an empress. We have Navier, which is the empress, and Sovieshu, which is the emperor. And I'm saying these names the best I can. They are obviously the leaders of their nation, so they have a political relationship. Their relationship is for the good of their people, but so far it has been quite good. That is until Sovieshu decides to get a mistress. Now, getting a mistress as an emperor is not necessarily an unheard of thing, but there are certain, and certainly mentioned in this book series, customs that you do. You obviously treat your empress with respect. The mistress has a particular role to play, and it seems like there aren't true prohibitions of the empress not having someone as a lover on the side as well. Basically, the understanding is you need to appear as a strong couple for the good of your nation, and you need to maintain those power and authority. You can never undermine each other, but because this is a relationship that isn't necessarily based on love, it is understandable if you take someone outside the marriage, as long as that does not interfere with the appearance of your relationship or your relationship with the empress or the emperor. That is my understanding of how the social contract, the social understanding is in this country. So Sovieshu has taken a mistress named Rashta, who is actually quite cruel. She has very quickly decided to undermine all of the social norms, but she does it with this sickly sweet expression. And through her relationship with the emperor is starting to undermine his relationship with the empress, which is quite negative for the overall good of the country. Rashta is a very cruel and conniving individual, but she also comes from a very difficult background. She was enslaved at one point, and she has escaped that. So she is under the idea, or she doesn't ever want to go back to that lifestyle that she had. She wants to be free of that. So she has her own reasons for desperately wanting to cling to this mistress position. But I do not think that justifies some of what we've been seeing in the last couple volumes. Now, Navier has just been trying to keep a good, even relationship with her emperor husband. She needs to do what's best for that relationship, for the empire at large. And yet she is starting to get a little bit of interest from other men in the court. There is a Prince Henry, who has been sending letters back and forth, and they have developed a friendship. Henry very clearly has feelings for Navier. Navier, you understand, isn't just rushing to take someone to get back at the emperor, but maybe feelings are developing between different people. But this love interest is turning into a love triangle. So we've been seeing Grand Duke Kaufman, who is this individual here. Let me make sure you can see it. He's this individual who has come to the court to maybe do diplomatic trade relationships between his empire and the one that Navier and Sovieshu are ruling. He saw that the empress was quite hurt by the way that the emperor was treating her, the way that he wasn't really respecting some of the social guidelines that are in place when you take a mistress as an emperor, and he decided to gift a love potion. So because he felt hurt, or he didn't want to see the empress suffering. Now, the empress, Navier, is not really interested in taking a love potion to make someone else fall in love with her, especially because she doesn't initially know who sent the love potion, and maybe don't drink things that you don't know where it came from, you know? So she actually goes to Grand Duke Kaufman to get confirmation, because she knows that he's very knowledgeable about these things, and he says, oh, it's a love potion, and then he drinks it. I forget what the exact sequence of events that led up to him drinking the love potion in front of her. I think it was to demonstrate or something. And he also claimed to have an antidote. Well, he drinks the love potion, and he accidentally makes eye contact with Navier, and the antidote doesn't work. So now he is in love with Navier. And I think initially I was like, well, this is the effects of something outside of the relationship between these two individuals. There's an outside influence, there's this love potion, so I don't think this is like real interest. But then then Grand Duke Kaufman starts saying things that indicate that maybe he might have a true interest outside this love potion, and I don't know. I mean, this is me speculating. Like, maybe the love potion antidote did work, and Grand Duke Kaufman just saw this as his opportunity to declare how interested he is in Navier while pretending to be under the love potion. I'm not sure exactly what's going on there. That may be just speculation. But this does complicate things because Navier leads diplomatic relationships with this man who is now madly in love with her. Henry also is complicating things, the initial love interest, because he must return because his brother is dying and he is next in line. So he needs to return to his home empire to kind of take care of that. So you have this triangle opening up around Navier. Rashta, on the other end, is causing problems like always. She's quite cruel, she's quite cunning, and she is continuing to spread rumors that are really influencing people in the world. Like, people are being put in prison due to her rumors, and I think that that's going to come back to bite her. At least I really hope it does. But the big thing that happens is she announces that she is pregnant. Now, as a mistress, she doesn't really have claim to the throne through this child, but Navier and Sovyeshu have not had their own child yet. And so Sovyeshu is very happy because it's his firstborn, but he genuinely acts like he doesn't understand how Navier isn't equally excited. Now, Navier doesn't really wish ill, or she's not going to hurt the child, I don't believe. But she recognizes, first of all, this isn't a child who's in line for the throne, but second of all, why does she have to be happy that you're having a kid with your mistress? Which is a completely fair and understandable scenario. So Sovyeshu is definitely in the wrong here, and I think some of this is the manipulation from Rashta, who kind of expects everyone to be happy for her. But I think she also knows not everyone is going to be happy, but she can manipulate people into feeling bad or being forced to say that they're happy for her. Rashta's cruelty is really on all display here. She's not really physically cruel, as in she doesn't physically beat people or anything. She has a very slight demeanor, but she's willing to have people thrown in prison on her behalf or face execution on her behalf. I think just because you've been treated poorly in the past or have a difficult past does not give you the right to take that out on other people. Rashta is trash. I do not like her as a person. And I don't dislike her as a person because Navier is hurt by the whole mistress thing. I understand that can be a dynamic in these sort of relationships, and like an emperor-empress relationship, a mistress is something that might just need to be dealt with, but Rashta is made out to be quite cruel intentionally. It's a lot of emotional manipulation, and emotional cruelty is kind of her specialty, and I really dislike her. The emperor definitely is giving unfair treatment between his mistress and his empress, and I think it's starting to bleed over into the effects affecting the kingdom or their group relationship, which is very important because they can't have that happening. And I think he also has this mindset of, what's that saying? Rules for thee, but not for me. He's definitely upset that people are interested in Navier, his wife. Well, I'm sorry, you took a mistress, so why is she not allowed to have someone on the side? Especially when there doesn't seem to be a strong legal prohibition on that. You don't get to take someone on the side and then be upset that your wife does the same. That's not how that works at all. You also, I'm not sure why he's expecting her being the Empress Navier to be excited about his mistress's child. That seems to be a very ignorant decision on his part. And I'm not sure how he doesn't see that. I'm guessing that's part just blindness, part stupidity, and part emotional manipulation from Rashta. Volume 4, I actually got a text literally like 10 minutes before sitting down to film this video that my hold came in. So I need to go pick up Volume 4 because I'm very excited to continue the story. Honestly, out of the little love triangle, Henry was like fine, but he felt like the stereotypical webtoon love interest. I don't know if that's the right way to phrase that, but I was like, okay, yeah, he's nice, and I do like this little budding romance, but I actually really like Grand Duke Kaufman. So I'm kind of rooting for Grand Duke Kaufman, even though I don't think he's the ultimate love interest, and I don't think he's not the person that the Empress is going to wind up with. I like Grand Duke Kaufman, at least right now. Things can change, Volume 4 is on the way, but right now I think I actually prefer Grand Duke Kaufman over Navier, or not Navier, Henry. If you read Volume 3, please let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I would love to read them and receive them. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.